the final, the first rock. And we're going to start with a maximum, if you don't mind, and we're underway.
Oh, they've been absolutely unbelievable, Pakistan. The amount of sixes they've hit straight away, down on one knee, put over square leg. Thank you very much.
This one's down the ground, and they've got to take some fielding to stop it, and it was brilliant. The South African down there was absolutely outstanding. They dropped a couple in the previous match, but that is a great way to start.
Not only that, they stopped the batsman coming back for two, so in effect he saved 3 runs there.
Swain Pole the man. This one is an leading edge. It's a vacant third man area. It's probably going to go all the way, and it does. Remembering, like Chris said, in the final, you've got to bowl 8 deliveries. We're going back to the 70s. It's old school. That's a pretty good delivery. Imagine the fight Dennis Lilly bowling 8 rocks here on Kowloon Cricket Ground. The shirt would be unbuttoned. The chest hair would be out.
Bit like you at the moment, Ryan.
Got no chest hair, me, Chris. This one is going long, but it's a chance, and they're going to get an early wicket, the South Africans. Can you believe it? It's 11 for 1 off 4 balls.
And look at the elation from the South Africans. See, Ryan, I think wickets, early wickets, is going to cost you dearly here because there's 40 balls. There's an extra 10 balls in this shit. I think you could play it a little bit differently.
Oh, absolutely. I'll leave it to you. You're the expert. Because tactics is something that you were actually extremely good at. Don't worry about that. Tanvir is going to be the next man, and we've seen him try to deposit every single ball he's faced into and onto the road.
And to be fair, that has been their tactics, and it's worked a treat for them. So probably think, well, we'll keep going with them.
What I still believe, and I'm with you about the tactics, you've got to get one in the shed. You've got to get someone retired to give you that safety down the back end. So here we go with his first rock, and guess what? He's hit that straight to the man at deep square. Can you believe it? Irwi is on a hat-trick.
Oh, I'm smelling an upset here, but what about that celebration? Stared straight at Tanvir and gave it to him.
It's all going on here at the Sixers. Pakistan, the overwhelming favourite, have lost 2 and 2 in the first, and the South Africans are up for
it. Send-offs in sixes. Now we're talking.
If you think this doesn't mean much to anyone, you only have to see that delivery and the reaction from Irwi. Sarrell is having a good time.
He's got some pretty decent pipes on him as well there.
It's actually brave bowling because he actually took the pace off for an offie. He actually lobbed it up and just did him. So here we go on a hat trick. Can you believe it? It's going to be a wide. He took the gas. It could have been a feather. Imagine that fairy tale. Anwar, the new batsman, wasn't holding back though. And again, that's going to be a wide. So 8 balls become 10, and this could take a while.
Well, surely though, you can't get bowled out. You've got to agree, you can't get bowled out. So that would be fatal flaw number 1.
Absolutely. Down the ground, that's a beautiful cricket shot. South Africa changing their tactics a little. Mid-off was very wide, almost an extra cover.
Well, they've gone 3 players on the leg side here. We've only seen that in the recent games, but here we see these 2 wickets. Big 2 wickets. That first ball was short leg side boundary.
Good bowling. He's going to get a dot.
You don't want to be bowling wides here because Irwi's now bowling the 10th ball of the over.
Fatigue becomes a factor. This one is going to go over cover for 6. A beautiful cricket stroke. He got it on the full, and gave it the treatment. So these are the drop catches from the last time the South Africans were on the park. That one should have been taken. This one's a toughie, in all due respect. That one, there was a lot of almost ones. So Dry's the man. Cornet Dry. He's going to bowl from the Kowloon Cricket Club members' end.
What you will see in this game is probably the fastest bowlers in the competition as well.
They do bowl some heat. Do the Pakistani bowling attack. That's a cut shot all the way for 6. You can't give these boys width.
It doesn't matter how quickly you bowl. If you bowl short and wide and swinging away, that's 407 sixes for the tournament, Ryan. How many are we going to end up after this game?
Well, Charlie Burke told us 220 was the last 2012, so obviously in 5 years he didn't include GST. The boys have got bigger, stronger, and the bats are massive. That's going to be played away on the offside, nice and gently for 4. And can you believe it? We're only 1.2 overs in and the score's 35.
Well, he's bowling a first-class length here and swinging it away, and he's got one on the offside. He's changing it now. He's moving one of his leg side fielders onto the offside. Just a little bit more protection for him.
This time he's down the ground and we've nearly lost an umpire because that was hit at pace. Tabarak Dar, the umpire, did very well to clear the head there because that is on target.
He nearly went the wrong way too. That could have been nasty.
I do worry for umpires nowadays, let me tell you. We've seen a couple wear shields and maybe a helmet or two. That's sliced away on the offside, and that's going to be 4 more. It's a good over so far for Pakistan.
And the best thing about it for them is it's been pretty safe. Played good shots. Just know they lose another wicket here, and it's starting to get a little bit difficult. There's enough time just to play these good shots and go hard at the end.
Very hard to defend the cricket ground with only 4 fielders. That's what you got to do. That's a better length. Right on the money. You'll only get a single.
Well, he's gone for 19 here. He's still got 3 balls to go.
There's lots of goings on in the crowd, that's for sure. That's down the ground as well. Hit very hard, and that's another boundary.
See, you only have to miss your length by a smidgen, and the difference between a single off the last ball and that being smacked back past him for 4.
Ahmad's 26 from 7, Anwar 14 from 4. That's short down the leg side and got the treatment. 4 more.
Well, the elation of the last over feels a long way away after this over, Ryan.
Just lost his length. That's down the ground. He's a chance and he's out. There's your 3rd wicket. And thank you. He loves the celebration. There's Cornet Dry and Sarel Irwi.
What's going on here with these celebrations?
Down the ground, didn't get the elevation, straight to him, and I'm going to go as far as saying he doesn't quite have the rhythm on the dance floor that's required. They're having a good time here at the KCC, and that little fella is probably watching his team go very well. That's him when he's bowling. He's pretty happy with himself and for the team. And with that wicket, he actually became the leading wicket taker of the tournament. There it is, confirmation. Sarel Irwi with 6 is equal with Cornet Dry and Ehsan Khan.
He's actually let himself down there. He's taken that catch. And Cornet Dry's equaled the wickets with him. What was he thinking?
Oh no, Swainpole. Swainpole bowling his leg spin from the long end, what we would say. The kids are having a good time. And the dance moves are aplenty. Oh, they're loving it here at the Kowloon Cricket Club.
Just needs to finish off with a send-off and
down the ground, there's just a single. So far, so good for Swainpole.
still a long way to go here for Pakistan.
That's got to be a wide. He just didn't get that one right. There's 8 balls in the over if you're looking at the bottom of your screen, and the MCC lads are earning a well-earned drink. But outside edge is going to go away for 4. He lost his length, his line, and through all this, Hamad has got to retire. He's doing the constant at one end for Pakistan.
Well, that's what we spoke about, Ryan. You've got to have someone in the shed just to come back at the end. Just a bit of that safety net, don't you? So the new batsman can keep going.
So it's Mohammad Sami, who's bowled absolute gas in this competition. Glad we don't have the speed gun on him, because he's going at about a 140, 145. First ball, he's whipping it away down to fine leg for a boundary. So they're still coming hard, the Pakistani lads.
Tell you what, we've got a fantastic crowd in here today. The place is humming at the moment, Ryan.
I can feel the excitement up here, Buck. I've never seen you with a bigger smile on your face. A swing and a miss. And Sami only wants to go one way, and that's towards square leg.
I think he might have picked the wrong one. Just didn't manage to play it.
Straight, that could be a chance, and that's definitely out off the glove. And all of a sudden, Pakistan are 4 for.
Well, you can only lose 6 wickets in this competition, can't you, Brian? So you have the last man standing rule, but...
Well, I'll tell you what happened there, Chris. He charged before the bowler even started, and Swainpole saw him coming and bowled the faster one and pretty much sniffed him up. Have a look at that for bowling.
Well,
that is brilliant.
Hamad has come back out now. He was the batsman who retired 31 off 9 balls, so he's back out here. This is taking a twist. I told you can't lose wickets here.
Well, maybe their tactic is just to let Hamad do all the batting. That's a head high fully and dealt with, and it's going to be a no ball as well.
Oh, that counts for 8, doesn't it? So that's a huge bonus there for Pakistan, but they've got a lot of work to do here. Got to pick 130, don't you?
You think so? That's not too good, that bowling. This one's high in the air, and it's going to go a long way. A big one down the ground for 6.
The momentum of this game just changes so quickly.
There's a story in every over, that's for sure. And that's hoiked away as well, and it's going to go for 4. You start the over well, you get a wicket, and you still go for plenty.
great little finish to the over there for Pakistan. And as we see, this crowd, as I said, it is humming. People have been having such a great time here. It's been a brilliant 2 days here at Cowling Cricket Club. And what scenes we see.
Absolutely. Up there, that pool pavilion, as you can see over there, is where the KCC members are at. Let me tell you, they're having a good time. So here it is, over number 4. Hamed is on strike. He's come back in. Adams, Chris Rogers' boy, is back on, and he goes for 6 first up.
Well, he was one of the most impressive bowlers yesterday. But Hamed is on fire. 37 off 10. We've got to find a way to get him off strike here.
That's better bowling, right up in the block hole, but still it goes for 4. You're pretty happy when you don't see elevation as a bowler, but it still races away.
Well, I mean, this is brilliant batting. South Africa either have to get him off strike or get him out. And then all the batting has to be done by Sohail. So for them, if they could find a way to get him out, this game could change quickly again.
It can turn on every ball. This time it's up in the air, and you guessed it, he's in massive trouble, and they've lost 5. Hamed is out. South Africa have grabbed their 5th. Sohail is going to bat solo.
Well, there's 13 balls to go here, Ryan. They can't lose another wicket, that's it. You can't get bowled out in 6s, can you?
Well, you can, Chris, you can. So 13 rocks for one man to face. So I wonder, what's the tactics going to be now? And the South Africans are rejoicing. That's a bit circumspect, which you can understand.
Well, they have to find a way to 120 here, don't they? Or maybe even less with their bowlers.
Let's not forget they got guys who bowl gas.
Yeah. Maybe a couple of slips in the gully.
He's loving it, that bloke out there. So if you just joined us and you don't quite know the rules, last man stands. So this bloke can bat on his own as long as he stays in. And he's pumped that down the ground for 6. Sohail going solo.
It's good to see he's just holding back a little bit here, right?
Well, that was actually a proper cricket shot there, down the ground.
Now, I'll tell you what, if you're going to play cricket, this is how you want to play.
Absolutely, just bat on your own.
Yep.
Get everyone to run them for you. Oi, there's one that just slides past off stump. What I always enjoy is when it gets to this situation, the bloke at the other end's got plenty of advice, but he's already out. How about you pack it, mate, down to your end? That's what I'd be saying. Adams, can he get the final wicket? It's up in the air. There's a little bit of a sniff, but no, it's going to run away, is it? Yes, it is. 4 runs.
What about the desperation? I probably thought I wouldn't see fielders diving left, right and centre in the 6s competition, but the South Africans have led the way in the field. They have dropped a couple of catches, but look at this. Going all the way straight into the camera tripod.
Body on the line for their country, that's for sure. So here we go, last ball of the over. And that's going to go away as well for 6. No problem whatsoever. And Sohail is having a good time being on his own. Just lingered onto the leg stump and he paid the price. So as I said, if you're new to the game, here's the rules for you. Everyone has to bowl an over except for the wiki. In the final, we're bowling 8 balls, but that's only for the final. Of course, there's also no free hits if you bowl a no-ey. And if you also just joined us, there's a couple of signs that are demanding to be hit for 12. Last over underway, and the first ball is going to be misfielded for 4. That doesn't help.
I just talked up their fielding, didn't I, Ryan? Just let that one nutmeg him straight through the legs.
You've got him again. We've got a few blokes today. Don't worry about that. The old commentator's curse. That should be fielded.
That is a proper nutmeg.
Again, it's the low full toss, and it just doesn't quite carry to the man at cow corner.
A few Bronx cheers there coming from the Kowloon members area, but as we see the Hublot watchers there, if you hit that sign, you don't just get 6 for it, you get 12.
That'd be handy. Again, that's perfect length from Nokolo.
I think South Africa would be relatively happy, but you just don't know, do you? This final is actually throwing up something different to us.
Well, 115 on the board. They've got them, and they're going to add to it here because that's going to go all the way.
Well, this could be the match-winning innings, really, because Sohail got out, then you think South Africa would have canted home. Sohail's played unbelievably, particularly thinking he's more of a...
They're playing the drums and having a good time. Don't worry about that.
He's more of a bowler, isn't he, really?
That's a wide. And just so the umpire made sure, he made sure he let him know. Once again, Hamid's down the wicket telling him what to do.
We've seen a couple of Red Dragon girls there, haven't we?
This one is out to the band of the boundary, and he's out. They're bowled out in the final over with 4 balls to spare. Pakistan are all she wrote for 123.
What a game we have on hand here, because yes, they got bowled out, Pakistan, but their strength is their bowling. They've got some genuine pace, particularly with Mohammad Sami. So you never know, but look at the South Africans. They're in this. They're up for it.
Absolutely. It's been action-packed. It was a low fully, and he couldn't muscle it over mid-wicket. And Nokolo gets the dismissal, and they're all out. Pakistan have been dismissed in this final for 123. Let's have a look at the tail of the tape. At the top of the order, they were really good to start with, was Ahmad with 41 from 12. He actually came back, and down the end there, Sohail with 46 from 14 was outstanding. But there were some holes in the middle, Chris Rogers.
We're there. Will Pakistan lose this game? They will be because they relied on 2 batsmen, and that's it. The South Africans, though, what a brilliant effort by them. To bowl the side out in the 6 is a fantastic effort.
Absolutely. The Pakistan fans, they'd be a little nervous right now, seeing their team bowled out. This is what South Africa did. Wickets early for Irwi. He was on a hat-trick at one stage, and then every single bowler picked up a pole. 123 all up from 4.5 overs. They didn't see it out, Pakistan, but like you say,